So here is my inspiration piece, and here is my version. I'm ready for the beach. You can wear it like this, you can wear it like that. No sewing at all. Everything is one piece. So the top and dress option, you can always turn the top into a dress and you can turn the dress into a top. It only depends on the measurements you take. So we're going to start with a chain. That's going to be the length of the front, how long you want it to be, plus half of the sleeve, because we have the sleeve here included from shoulder to the hem. This is shoulder to the hem. And then we have half a sleeve. So in my case, I want to do the 2XL size, and my sleeve is 17 inches starting from the whole top. So my half of it is included in the front and half will be in the back. So once I fold the sleeve over, I will continue crocheting connected to the front. So I'll go back and forth, and I'll be crocheting the front and the back together. So they'll go all the time together. I'll just stop for the neck opening. For the back, I will decrease. And for the front, I will also decrease. While on the back, I decrease only one row. In the front, I will be decreasing more because I'll be measuring here. I'll decrease till I have reached the middle of my sleeve. So once your neck opening gets to the middle of your sleeve, which in my case, since my sleeve is 17 inches, so the front is 8.5 and the back is 8.5, I will go up to about 4 inches here. And I will stop, or even less, depends how open I want my front to be. Then I'll go back and forth for the front, and then back and forth for the back, and then I'll connect them again on the other side, and I'll finish the same way I did here. So that will be pretty easy, and we'll have one piece ready. We don't even have to connect anything, sewing or anything for that basic piece. And if you want to put sleeves, they can be rectangles, and they can go also in rows, just like we did with the front. Or you can just add your thread from the side and you just go in circles for your sleeve. That's one option. You can make it sleeveless or 3/4 of a sleeve. So there are different options here. We'll start with a slip knot. And then chain loosely, that first chain here, and then continue loosely chaining the whole length you want. So here are the colors from the inspiration piece, and here are my colors. So this is a 4-weight yarn, which will produce a bigger garment. This is a 3-weight yarn. This is a baby yarn. It's 100% acrylic, so it will be a little bit on the smaller size. After the length of the chain, into the 4th stitch from the hook, we don't count the one on the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, we'll be doing extended double crochets. So yarn over one time, go through the first loop only, and then yarn over, go through the second and the third loop, and then yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. So here's again, into the next chain, we do extended double crochet. So yarn over and pull through 1 loop, pull through the next 2 loops, pull through the last 2 loops. And we do count the first chain as a double crochet, extended double crochet, and then we'll chain 2, and then we'll skip 2, and then we'll have in the next 3 chains, each one will get an extended double crochet. This will make it a little bit more holes, more breezy, just like this. So chain 2, we did 3 extended double crochets, skip 2, and into the 3rd extended double crochet, 1 more extended double crochet, and one more. So 3 extended double crochets, skipping 2 chains and chaining 2. So here I'm ready with all my chains, and I have extra, and that's fine. I'm not gonna even worry about it. I can unravel it because that first slip knot is not very tight, and just finish it there. So from here I will measure my arm opening, which in my case is 17 inches. So stretching slightly, not much. Feel how it's gonna work for you. I'm gonna measure 17 inches and I will fold. So up to here. So once you roughly estimate your arm opening, fold it so that you have clusters, those granny clusters facing each other, and actually you have a chain opening at the fold. And with that, I'm taking out the last extended double crochet from that cluster, and I actually will use it to take it together with the last extended double crochet from the other side. I'll yarn over for my extended double crochet, and I'll go through the base of the opposite side of that extended double crochet, and before I yarn over, I'll insert my hook through the back chain of the other side. So I'll work that extended double crochet just like this. And here's our arm opening. If you fold it like this, we're gonna go that way, and we'll continue down those first row we did on this side, and we're gonna have the whole top connected. So since we did that 3 extended double crochets, then we'll chain 2 and then do the next cluster. They're already pre-counted for us. We're just gonna work into the base and chain 2, and then again we don't have to count, skip 2 because we are going into the base of that. And just like this, we've connected the front and the back, and we have a arm opening here. And I'll meet you at the end so I can show you how we're gonna go to the next row. When you reach the end, make sure you go into that last chain as well, because we counted that chain as an extended double crochet. So when we go to the next row, we chain 3 for the first extended double crochet, and then we chain 2 for the chain 2 space. So we technically have 5 chains here. And into each chain space, we'll do 3 extended double crochets. And we'll keep repeating that till the end. If you want less holes, you can skip the chain space and you can just have granny clusters next to each other. And chain 2. Oh, there you go. If you forget to make a chain 2, they get much closer. So let me go and make that chain 2. And here's the next cluster. And that's how it's gonna look once we continue working all the way. So we're gonna be going all the way, all around the shoulder, and then we'll be coming back here, and we'll do exactly the same thing here. When we reach, we'll just have a extended double crochet here. And just like this, we'll be ready for the next color. All right, so at the end here, the last granny cluster, chain 2 and 1, extended double crochet into that last chain here. Just grab, there are 3 strands, just grab 2 and do your last extended double crochet, but do not go for the 3rd time. Grab a new color, make a slip knot here for the new color, and start with it. Tighten that slip knot. And now we can chain 3 for the first extended double crochet, flip your work, and we can do 2 more extended double crochet into that first chain space. And then we'll keep repeating the same thing. Chain 2, 3 extended double crochets into the next chain space. All the way till the end. And here we had 2 rows done with that first color. Now we're gonna go 4 rows for the next color, and then we'll go for color number 3. This is our arm opening here. We are going around it, and we're working on the back and the front at the same time. Isn't that cool? I'm ready for my next color, and I'll do the same thing. When I do the last extended double crochet, I'm not gonna finish it, and I will just add the new color with a slip knot, right like that right here, and then chain 5. Oh no, we're gonna chain 3 because we have to do a cluster here. Before we do that, I want to cut my color because it's too far away for the next repeat. And then while I do it, I'll find the inside of my work. This is my inside. And I'll just do a little chain here so it does not come apart. And then I will go through the loops here and weave in this end, so I don't have to worry about ends after that. And make sure I bring it here on the chain space so it stays trapped in the stitches. And we can weave in as we go, so we don't have much work to do. And after the few extended double crochets here with the blue, I'll do the same thing with the blue. So this is dark blue here I'm using. So we'll keep doing the same thing. Here I'm trapping that end inside the stitch. And over here I'll have 1 blue, a white, a blue, a white, and a blue. And then we repeat again the first color. So this is color number 3 and then 4, and we can start repeating them again. And here is the panel right before we start decreasing here for the neck opening, and then we repeat exactly the same thing, the way it continues, the pattern, the repetition on this side of the shoulder, and we'll do the back as well. And it's going pretty quickly. So the repetition of colors, the first one made about 7.5 inches, and this is our sleeve. That's our guide. And I'll put my marker just like that. And then I'll continue this line and see which is my there. So this is my last row, and I'll get my marker there as well. My last row of this color ended up here, so my next color is pink, and chain 5, 3, 4, 5, and then 3 extended double crochets in this next chain space, and we keep doing that, chain 2, all the way till the last cluster of the row and before this marker. So here I'm stopping here right before the marker because we want that neck opening to be like big and oversized. So we'll keep going back and forth for those 4 rows of pink again with chaining 5 and then extended double crochets all the way on the back. And we'll follow the same pattern as those colors go till we have exactly the same number of rows back and forth with the front, and then we'll add our stitches just like those so we can have again the original number of stitches right here. So, and we'll finish with just this number of rows so we can have exactly the same length of the shoulder. And this is a 3-weight yarn. Actually no, it's 2-weight yarn, but to me it acts like 3-weight. It's a little bit on the puffy side, and I'm using a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, although the recommended is 3.5 millimeters, but it makes a very soft fabric because baby yarn, and I'm using bigger hook as well. And this whole front is long 22 inches. Let's skip to the front and start decreasing there because it's a little bit trickier. So from the marker where we put to separate the front and the back, which was the middle of our arm, our shoulder here, so our neck opening cannot go further down than half of our arm opening. So that's my guide. So if I want to go lower, it's going to be open and we might not like it. So here, if I count my granny clusters and spaces, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I cannot go past 7. So 7 will mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is actually not bad because we're gonna go 3 spots, then 2, then 1. So that will be exactly 3, 2, 1, the way we do in knitting. So I want to do this. So I'm gonna start my yarn from here this time, from that opening, and I'll count 3. So my first chain space with the marker is 1, then the cluster, then the chain space. So it means we're going to be starting from this. So we are decreasing those 3 spaces, and we're going to be starting from this cluster. So on top of the cluster, we need to have a chain space, and then we're going to have a cluster. So we still keep doing this repetition. So I will get my yarn, make my slip knot again, and then on top of this, so start again 1, 2, 3. On top of this granny cluster, I'll do a single crochet and then weave in that end later. Chain 3 for the extended double crochet we count, and then chain 2 for the chain 2 space, and then into the next space we do 3 extended double crochets. and then chain 2, and then extended double crochets all the way till the end, the normal way. And then when we come back, we're just gonna stop at those 2 spaces here. And let me go down and let me come back so we can see it together. So now that I've reached the end, I will stop at the 2 points mark if I want to say it. So we had here 1, 2, 3, space, cluster, space. Now we're gonna have space and cluster only to decrease. And now that we are going back, we are not gonna do 1 space over this one because we want to decrease it, right? We are doing 3, 2, 1. So I'm just gonna turn and I will do 3 slip stitches on top of these extended double crochets. So there, 3 slip stitches, and then I'm going into the space, and here I will have extended double crochet or chain 3 into extended double crochets for a new cluster. And this is how it looks now. Let me do a few more. So chain 2 and another cluster. So this is my this is the decrease over here. And if you think you want 1 more, you can decrease 1 more on the way back. That's okay too. It can be 3, 2, 1, 1 as well. Let's see, is it halfway through my sleeve? I can even go 1 more. So, but I will not gonna decrease anymore. This is gonna be 3, 2, 1. And that's all. And then I'll be going back and forth now using this as my final cluster. And I'll meet you again at the end to show you one more time. So I'm done with this color and I need to start with my dark blue. And I will just continue going back and forth. No increases, no decreases. I will meet you when it's time to increase and connecting the back to the front again. And this is the decrease on the mannequin. And we're gonna keep repeating those colors over here. A quick check before increasing here on this side and moving to the next shoulder. This is how it looks in the front, and the back is just a straight panel. And let's get to it. So I ended up the back at the spot where I need to start my purple, and here in the front I'm at the spot at the last 2 rows, and before starting that purple here I need to increase 1 time and I need to increase 2 times and then start my purple. And so here it is, my last 2 rows where I'm supposed to do white and 1 blue. So over here, when I did finish with the last extended double crochet, I will do 3 more chains, and over here I will add my next color. So I went up 1 time and I'm starting with my white, which will be 3 more times for the extended double crochet I'm supposed to have there, and I need to have chain 2 so I can go to the next space over here. And now I can do my cluster of 3 on this side. And then chain 2, and I'm moving to the next chain space. And I will go like that till the end and switch to my blue final blue color here. And now that we reach the end, we put an extra granny cluster here, so now we need to increase again. So we'll chain 2 for the next chain space like we have on the other side, and then we have 1 granny cluster, and that granny cluster we're gonna put here at the base of that chain. So we'll do 3 extended double crochets right over here, and we'll be ready to connect to the back. And there we are. So we have 1 extra chain space and a cluster. And now here now, all our patterns match just like that. So here between the front and the back we have 12 chains over here, so we will chain 12 on this side and we'll connect together. Okay, and we'll just connect here with a single crochet and chain 1 so it's more secure and you can cut. Now with the purple we actually ended up on the bottom of the back, so we'll just add our purple on that side. Okay, so I did chain 2 because it was turn of the chains, and then I'll do 3 extended double crochets here. They'll be okay like that because we'll be having a little trim around, so it's not a big deal. So chain 2 and 3 more. Okay, so we're checking here. Then we need 2 more. And going into that first chain space after the granny cluster here. And we keep going and finishing that shoulder. So we're just gonna have to have the repeat of the colors again. So here I started the sleeve, and this is just a chain, and when I came till the end I chained 3 more and I attached it to the opening of the sleeve, and then I'll get my next color here and I will just attach it here again. I'll just use the stitch or just go into the space here, do a slip stitch and then chain 3 so I can go a space up, and then I'll go again around here, do a single crochet or slip stitch and then turn, and now going back into that chain space I do the same thing till the end of the row. And that's how I'll proceed with all of them. I'll just connect and chain 3 and go to the next row. This way no sewing at all of the sleeve. But I really am not sure do I want a sleeve or not, because this is quite oversized and it goes down my shoulder, so I will still need to decide on this option here. Once you reach the underarm area, so the last row is going up, and the point you pass your armpit, you start connecting to the back side or the front side, depending on what side you're working with your yarn. And I do it at the same time, so I don't have to sew anything together. I just don't like sewing. So let me share how I do it. I grab my loop, my working loop there, and then I go through the top loop of the stitch from the opposite side. And I insert my hook through there. And then I wrap the yarn around the hook so I can make the extended double crochet going into the chain space of the other side, the one that I'm working on. Then I'm doing my extended double crochet going through all the loops on the last go. And then I have chain 2. Then I repeat the same thing with the same way. So I'm going through the top of the stitch and doing yarn over, and then picking the next chain space, starting my extended double crochet, and on the last go I go through all the loops. This way I'm connected to the first post here. So I'm going through the second post, yarn over for the stitch, go through the chain space, do your extended double crochet, but on the last go through everything on your hook. And then I'm doing this 3 times for the 3 stitches I have here. So I'll go through the stitch, yarn over for the extended double crochet, and then on the last go I go through everything on my hook. And there it is, no sewing necessary. And then chain 2, this is for the chain space here we have, and we are doing the same thing. And this is that last chain space I have. And that's how we're gonna end this side. And our whole sweater is ready. If you're doing a sweater, if you're doing a dress, these rows will be longer. There is no difference between the construction or the way the dress will be made, because we still need a neck opening, we still need a arm opening, so it's really not much of a difference. So the last chain and the extended double crochet there in the corner, and we are all done. So let's do the edging here. So for the neck opening, I did 3 single crochets in each chain or a post that came in front of me, and I just counted 3 3 3. I did not bother to see how big the stitch is because I wanted to be a little bit more tightened around the neck area. However, at the bottom, where the bottom edge is, I do 4 single crochets in each chain space or in each post. So I have already 3, 4, and I'm just skipping to the next post. This is the granny cluster here, and I'll do 4 single crochets because I don't want it that tight on the bottom. And here I have only the extended double crochet here, and it will just be 4 single crochets. And skipping to the post, even though it's a little bit tighter here, I still put 4 so it looks uniform. And you can do this with any color you want. I wanted to give it a contrast so it shows on camera a little bit easy. And then just like this I'll go, and I usually weaved in as I go, or here I didn't. I put the blue tail on the blue post. I have 3 here, and then I crochet over it, and then when I reach the black, the white, I put the white end on the white post and I go through both of them. And of course, if you use a lighter color, it will look different, but it's really up to you how you want to do it. And trim those ends. Because I did square knots, I'm not really afraid of them coming apart, but if you're selling your garment and it's not for personal use, you know, make sure those ends are really weaved in and are really chained, and really secured.